We know today is a drag. You just wish the holiday was longer. More time to rest and spend with loved ones. But the world has turned, and we're here on Tuesday. We're here to keep you informed so you can get back to business and dust off the sand from the long weekend. We're also here to entertain you and give you a kick of energy for the week. Hi, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this is Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us to be in the know.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you could save a life when you're on the road.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 7. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he will be making an announcement shortly on measures to combat plastic and styrofoam pollution. The Prime Minister's pronouncement comes against the background of recent illicit fires at two of the island's major solid waste disposal sites. Mr. Holness was speaking at the Governor General's Independence Reception and Exhibition on Thursday.
It cannot be that we use our independence, our freedom as it were, to litter our environment and to light our dump on fire. It cannot be.
A multi-stakeholder working group chaired by Dr. Paris Liao-Ai Jr. was set up by Cabinet in March 2017. The team's responsibility is to investigate the use and the disposal of plastic packaging materials in Jamaica and the impact on the environment. This was in response to a motion tabled by Senator Matthew Samuda, which called for a ban on plastic bags below a 50-gallon capacity and on styrofoam unless it contains an enzyme to facilitate its biodegradability. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, will be utilizing drones as part of new measures to enhance security at the island's disposal sites. In a statement, the board of the NSWMA says greater assistance will also be coming from the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force to monitor the disposal sites. Other measures include placing cover materials strategically at each disposal site and installing a fire suppression system at the retirement dump to enable quick response in the event of a fire. In the meantime, the NSWMA board says it continues to investigate the increased incidences of fire at all disposal sites. The Solid Waste Management Board warns that where it is confirmed that these fires were indeed acts of arson, perpetrators will be brought to justice. In other news, the Cornwall Regional Hospital Rehabilitation Oversight Committee says the completion of current upgrading work will result in a modern healthcare facility. Committee member Professor Ishenkumda Kawa says while the project may seem to be taking a long time, this is to ensure the work is done well and to avoid any recurrence of similar issues. Professor Kawa was addressing a press briefing recently.
We are now in the 21st century, and we are saying efforts should be made at least to have something or to have a facility that reflects today's advancements in technology, in science, in healthcare, and overall comfort in a modern and important health facility like we have.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Sansia Bennett-Templer, says while a contractor has not been confirmed to undertake construction of the main building, preliminary work is being done.
What we have in place at this time is a structural engineering firm doing all of the design, first doing an assessment and the design work for the structural engineering. You have the mechanical, electrical, planning, and gases firm who have done their assessment and are now doing the design.
In the meantime, the Rehabilitation Oversight Committee is reporting minimal disruption in the care of patients at health facilities in Western Jamaica as work progresses on the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Committee Chairman Professor Archibald MacDonald says since February there has been a 6.8% increase in primary health care in the area where the hospital serves. This, he says, suggests that some of the patients were redirected to primary care facilities. With regards to operations at the Cornwall Regional, Professor MacDonald says bed occupancy now stands at 64%.
This includes those patients who are relocated in the buildings around that main tower, but also it includes beds at Falmouth Hospital as well. The hospital is providing care at this point in time for 54% of patients compared with the levels before, when the hospital was at full capacity.
He says visits to the accident and emergency unit have seen a decrease of 879 between February and May this year. Noxious fumes started affecting the air quality at the hospital in 2016, and work is being done to rectify the situation. And finally, the nation's leaders have called for a recommitment to good values and contributing to nation building for economic growth. This call was made by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and Leader of the Opposition Dr. Peter Phillips in their Independence Day messages to the nation on Monday.
Our people, despite the challenges of postmodernism and eroding values, continue to demonstrate the spirit of enterprise, creativity, neighborliness, and care for the needy, which have been visible in our history here at home for generations.
My administration is committed to increasing efficiency through public sector reform and building a strong governance framework strengthened by mechanisms to eliminate corruption. The challenge for the next 50 years is to use our political independence and social freedoms to achieve economic independence and prosperity.
Let us also see it as a time for a renewal of the national spirit. Let us commit ourselves to building a Jamaica, not just for a few, but to building a Jamaica that works for all its people by the radical transformation of the economy and society.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has taken charge of the energy portfolio to improve on the governance structure. Last week, he summoned the boards of 2 ministries' agencies to a meeting. Watch this to hear why.
In Jamaica House Weekly, Prime Minister commits to accountability and transparency and calls on Jamaicans to rid the country of all forms of violence. These and other news stories with me, Anthony Morgan. At the top of last week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness reassured civil society and private sector groups of government's commitment to anti-corruption and accountability. Tuesday's meeting was held in response to a letter from the group which raised concerns on a range of governance matters. Prime Minister Holness also reaffirmed his dedication to rebuilding public trust in his administration. He said independent investigations were ongoing and sanctions had been applied to breaches that had been uncovered. The Prime Minister reminded stakeholders that governance training for public sector leaders, including cabinet ministers and board members, was in train.
In this instance, the public can say that there has been this process of investigation, discovery, and as we have been satisfied, we have gone to Parliament, we have reported, and we have acted.
On Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness used his Emancipation Day message to urge Jamaicans to stand united in ridding the nation of violence in all forms.
Today, let us commit to emancipate our communities from the criminal gangs and dons that take away the freedom of our people and have them cowering under their beds in fear. Free yourself of the notion that the violent criminal gangs cannot be brought to an end. Resist them by using the trustworthy channels to provide information to the authorities.
As Minister responsible for the energy portfolio, Prime Minister Andrew Holness addressed several issues in the sector on Thursday. Among the actions, he summoned all boards associated with the energy portfolio to a meeting at his office. The boards summoned include the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, National Energy Solutions Limited, Wigton Wind Farm, and Government Electrical Regulator. All boards that fall under the science and technology portfolios were also invited to a meeting with the Prime Minister in the wake of Dr. Andrew Wheatley submitting his resignation. The boards are required to report on their activities and processes, as well as receive policy direction on the way forward. And with an increase in last week's fuel prices, the Office of the Prime Minister released a statement from the Petrojam management assuring the country that the $2.60 hike was unrelated to current matters on the island. In the statement, Petrojam said local prices were based on movement in the international market and adjusted weekly. The state oil refinery also asserted that the increase could be attributed to international political issues and the annual high-peak summer travel season across the world. On Thursday, Prime Minister Holness joined Governor General Sir Patrick Allen for his annual Independence reception. In line with his call for preserving and protecting the environment, Mr. Holness said he would be announcing the way forward regarding the use of plastics and styrofoam.
It cannot be that we use our independence, our freedom as it were, to litter our environment and to light our dump on fire. It cannot be.
A detailed examination into the operations of Duns River Falls has been ordered. That news came Friday in a release from the Office of the Prime Minister. It said the review was ordered by the Board of the Urban Development Corporation with the support of the Board of the St. Anne Development Company, SADCO, operators of the attraction. The audit would include a look at the governance and control environment as well as any potential weaknesses. Prime Minister Andrew Holness lent his support to the 66th staging of the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show in Clarendon on Monday.
Every time I come here at Denby, I see the nicest sample products being packaged and demonstrated. You know, cassava flour and this ackee wine and all kinds of exotic things. But they are just samples. What I want now is for the Ministry of Industry and Commerce to take those samples and turn them into widely available commodities that are on the shelves of not just Jamaica and Cayman, but the entire region and the world, because that is how we add value and grow our economy.
The Prime Minister called on stakeholders to apply technology to increase agricultural production. He also urged the Jamaica Agricultural Society to encourage more young people to enter the field.
The challenge for the next 50 years is to use our political independence and social freedoms to achieve economic independence and prosperity.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's charge as the nation celebrated its 56th anniversary of independence. He committed his administration to ensuring that economic independence is achieved through a myriad of activities. Among them, increasing public sector efficiency, implementing mechanisms to eliminate corruption, improving environmental protection, and supporting stronger family units. By Monday evening, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was at the National Stadium to officially ring in the nation's 56th anniversary of independence. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
So the question is, has NCB exceeded my expectations?
Yes.
When I bought it?
Yes.
Life, nothing in life is linear, unfortunately.
I was going to get to that.
Most of us, we think linearly. So if someone had said to me, Mike, this bank, 15 years from now, will make, 16 years, which is now, will make $200 million from Jamaica.
When it was making six.
When it was making six. Everybody would have said it's impossible. I would have said it is impossible. But that is the power of compounding. That is the power of the compound curve, as we all know, looks like this. So if we have to get through the front end is the hockey, what we call in Canada, the hockey stick curve. So we have to get through the hard work, the front end loaded work of recalibrating, building confidence, and then you hit an inflection point, and then it takes off. So no, I would not have expected that the bank would have had such an impact on Jamaica. Profits are one thing, but taxes, We're the largest taxpayer in Jamaica. Cumulatively, over the last 15 years, we've paid over $500 million in taxes, which goes a long way to nation building. But we started off not thinking, or the objective was, or the question we asked ourselves was, how can we use this institution as a vessel to build a better country? So immediately we changed the mantra of the bank from to NCB, building a better Jamaica. And that focused the staff. It gave the staff purpose. When they came into work every day, they made a direct connection to their efforts and building a better Jamaica, which will redound to their children and grandchildren.
I think the government agencies that we've dealt with, the regulatory body, and the AAJ, who is the primary governing body for the airport, considers that the investment and the privatization is a success. We found that the legal framework is conducive to doing business in Jamaica. We have a sturdy concession agreement with the government that was, even though it was formulated from 2003, still is relevant. And we have benefited from the changes in the tax reforms that the government has done over the past few years. As a private investor, we have found that the government at the national level and also at the local level and the various government agencies that we have to deal with in terms of operating, we find them to be very supportive in terms of our operations. Also, we find that in terms of providing finances to support our various capital projects, in 2003, we were funded by the IFC, but recently, in last year, we were able to successfully find funding locally from a local bank of $40 million loan for us to be able to carry out some of our 2018 capital investments. As an airport, and based on our forecasting, we feel that there is potential for growth in Jamaica, certainly for the tourism sector, and certainly for passenger arrivals. We are projecting, as I said before, a 6% growth in passengers for this year, and looking forward, we're expecting to see an average growth of between 4 to 5% year over year. Also, we feel that there is growth potential for the airport in terms of providing additional services that we don't currently provide. So one of the areas that we're looking at in terms of development is to have a business hotel hosted on the airport lands for us to be able to fully facilitate and provide exceptional experience for our passengers. So in that way, we feel that our experience as an investor has been very good.
GIF 2012 is where Sutherland was in attendance and decided to invest in Jamaica. And for the first 6 to 8 months, obviously there was no office. I was brought on board. I was working from my car most times, and Jampro gave me an office occasionally. But they were so facilitating of the process that they even helped us to register, helped us get access to the zones, introduced us to our attorney, and that's how we started this process. Then we moved on to where are we going to set up. Now, location is very strategic. And when I was setting up 2012, we didn't have as many options as is there today. So I must also commend our government for making real estate a priority, because today you have it a dime a dozen to pick from. So I must give them a hand for that. When we came into Jamaica, we had a goal to grow to 1,000. And within a year, we were there. And we liked what we saw. And of course, our leadership, starting with me, is 100% Jamaican. So we were also invested to show and prove our worth. We revised the goal and we came back to Jampro and we said we're now at 3,000. We got there in 3 years. And we, man, wow, the potential is huge. We revised our goal another time, and we said 5,000 in 5 years. We were there with 4 locations, soon to be 5. And we have now revised the goal to be 10,000. Now, one of my favorite quotations is, vision without execution is hallucination. And as I look around the room, I don't think any of you here got to where you are because you were hallucinating. Don't start now. Capitalize on this opportunity because the best is yet to come.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Downtown Kingston is known for great deals on just about any item. Likewise, if you want quality handcrafted furniture pieces, you should run downtown. Take a look.
For your household furnishing and decorative pieces, local artisans can fulfill your desires. From the bedroom to the dining area, your entertainment room, and even your walls. Exquisitely designed pieces that will make your guests wish they could stay.
As part of our local economic development support program, we host a number of business fairs. Today we're having a furniture fair where we're trying to showcase those businesses that deal with the crafts from the downtown area. If you travel along Harbour Street downtown, you will notice a number of furniture stores with different things on the sidewalk. And we consider a number of those products to be of high standard. A standard that you will get in any stores that you will go in and around downtown as well as uptown. So we wanted to bring into Emancipation Park those products of persons who are in homes and in businesses to see what we have to offer, the indigenous skills and craft from Jamaica.
The exhibits here are actually really lovely today. Like, especially the natural, I think it's a natural furniture place. They actually have some really nice stuff on display.
I believe in nature taking the dominant role in everything we do. So I want to highlight the beauty of nature, and that's why I go for stuff that look the way nature presents it already. Anything you can conceptualize, I try to bring it to life. I do door, countertops, accent wall, the whole decor pieces. It's a nice coffee table. Cedar, 2 cedar limb, I put them together with a resin inlay. So I pour the epoxy called liquid glass. Yeah, I love to work with that to create the binding, but it also comes with a lighting underneath it to really illuminate the whole thing in the night. Another piece of the same cedar tree. If you notice how the termite heat it out, but I treat them to ensure that nobody have termite in their home. However, it's the termite in it that causes the different looks, the rotten hair. They heat it out, but when you put a finished touch to it, it's gonna come out beautiful. So my beauty is what you consider to be ugly and distorted. I just bring a little beauty touch to it. This is actually is a dinner table for about 3 or 4 chairs. Put a little piece of nature to it. So it comes with a wood roots of a orange tree, and it's also a guango base and a guango top. These wall pieces are what a Jamaican famous wood called logwood. Growing up in the country, I always love it, so I bring some little touch to it to finish them, but it's all natural.
Uniwick has been around for over 25 years. We manufacture wicker, rattan, and we also do fully upholstered furniture. The wicker industry right now, the importation is giving us a beating right now, to be honest. Right? So customers are normally going for the plastic furniture, but when it comes to durability, the wicker is the way to go.
So we'll normally recommend, and we're saying to the customers, the plastic furniture normally ends back up to me because it cannot take the rain and it cannot take the sun. So it comes back to me to cut it off and put on the wicker.
I did look at some of the furnitures and things, and it looked nice, looked interesting.
We sell furniture, mainly beddings and living room items. Once it's made from wood, we make it. What we have here on display now are made from maho. That's a national wood. Purchase of maho from the people who cut it. You can purchase from the forestry department. We use the maho, we use the Spanish elm, cedar, and mahogany. Those are what we mainly use. They are more comfortable working with, and they give you a proper finish, lasting, life-lasting products you get from them.
I think this is a great event, and you know, STC should really look into having monthly booth like this.
We started 28 years ago, believe it or not. We cater to hotels, villas, private people, doing furnishings with Jamaican bamboo, totally Jamaican products, all handmade. And we use the internet to market and a website, Facebook. And we've been in a few shops, but at the moment we aren't in any shops, we're just in online. I was showing you our bath rack earlier, and we do pendant lamps, cluster lamps, every type of lamp you can think of, ladders, shop fixtures for hanging clothes, displaying shoes, as well as your regular furniture, beds, bedside tables. Bamboo itself is one of the most environmentally friendly plants, so by cutting bamboo down, you're actually you're increasing the growth of bamboo and takes out carbon dioxide out of the air, and it's good for the environment. Plus, it's a very strong material, so it's very durable. And in places like by the sea, it doesn't rust. So we use bamboo dowels, no nails and things like that, so no rusting. We also create very comfortable designs. So everything is designed for luxury, comfort, put your legs up, get back, you know?
I saw this piece from a mile. It's like a city. Looks like a city, you can see. The buildings, the road, you know, some of the other buildings. But I want it for my studio. And it represents like naturalness. So I'm gonna put these pieces in my studio.
I have on display abstract pieces. Abstract pieces on canvas, paper, and PVC. The colors here today are based on PVC material, canvas, as well as paper. And they are colors inspired by people around me, my family, my son, my wife. So yeah, they are bright colors.
Buy local, because we have tremendous products locally, and when we buy local, we provide the bread for more than one of us, you know? So we need to grow our economy, and the best way to grow our economy is to buy local.
This program and others can be viewed on our YouTube channel. You can also visit our website and other social media platforms to stay in the know on matters of national importance. And of course, join us daily on this station for the latest installment of Jamaica Magazine. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson on behalf of the entire team at the JIS. Thanks for watching and walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.